Hi, my name is Gail Dickert. I am the author and creator of the movement Recovery in Real Time, a trauma survivor's anti-workbook. I have been a trauma survivor since about the age of 9 and have been looking at actually mindfully working through the recovery process from trauma since I was in my early 20s. So I came to the idea of this book because I had used so many different resources that made it feel like I was supposed to overcome or heal or become whole or get over it. And after all of the years of what I've seen, I know that that's not an outcome that's obtainable or attainable for me. And I know there are some people who really believe that they will put their trauma behind them, but I don't believe that's how this works. I believe that the brain is not designed to handle trauma and actually just get over it. I believe it's designed to handle trauma through a recovery process, and that will happen cyclically as we grieve every new piece of our lives when the trauma resurfaces. And this is how I've found my way through it over the course of several decades now, both living it and now focusing on recovering from it every day. So I've been writing on the blog, publishing for achange.com, and I've enjoyed that experience, but I also wanted to bring it to the vlog world because most of the feedback that I'm getting is so personal, and I want to make sure I put out something that has that personal touch too, because I know that what you're sharing with me is so personal. And while I'm writing, I know these are things that most people don't talk about, let alone publish and put out there with their face. And I get it. I don't even know sometimes why I feel so comfortable with it, other than I know that I've acquired a certain skill set, almost like a really twisted version of Taken from the movie. Like, I have very special skills. And most of us do if we're survivors. We have a very special skill set for somehow finding a way through things that most people can't find their way through, and most would never want to have the opportunity to. These aren't skills that should be sought after, how to cope. It's because of trauma that we learn them. We didn't ask for them. It's just, that's how we had to get through it. So anyway, this week I was thinking a lot about the bargaining stage of grief and trauma recovery, and this comes about cyclically. Every once in a while, I just don't have time for trauma. And so I was going to write about it. It was hashtag 68, which is, we're too busy for this. We're too busy for this. I have a life. I wrote, at no point in a survivor's recovery process does she feel like she has time to process what happened. Nobody has time for therapy. Nobody has time to mourn the loss of innocence. We have our families, careers, friends, and at times an internal or an external pressure to move on. We shame ourselves into believing that taking more time with a topic is a waste of time, no matter how much time has passed since the traumatic experience or experiences. Eventually, a survivor understands we are too busy running from this, and it is time to pay attention to the recovery piece by piece in real time. I've felt this recently. I keep thinking certain things are done, and then a reminder will come up, and it doesn't even matter what it is. Like, it could be conversion therapy. That has a way of rearing its ugly head any day that ends in Y. I mean, I can't understand why, someone will talk to me about it, and I'll think, where did that come from? Why are people still talking about this? Or why am I still attracting this? Or, I'll just wonder about it, and then I can't just be, I don't have time for this, I'm a survivor of it. So I do have to make a pause and say to myself, okay, this is what it feels like to be too busy for this. And let's be honest, it's an ain't nobody got time for that kind of feeling. It's not like, I'm just so busy, I hate dealing with my trauma. It's like, damn it. I'm trying to be whole. I'm trying to live my life. So it's not just the busy, it's the sense of being pulled away from your now to be in the past. So I want you to know that for me is a real moment in recovery, when you just admit that even though you're too busy for this, you do have to pause and at least honor it. So that's what this book is for. It's not for you to just say, I don't go to therapy, I don't take medication, I don't do all these other tools that you do, meditation, spirituality, bike riding, and some maybe less healthy, or unhealthy tools. It doesn't say get rid of those tools, but as a companion for that that road that we're on, and it's a very unpredictable road sometimes. So I hope that this is one of those experiences that for you, you can see the video and see the website and buy the book and have it as a friend. I wrote it for myself. I've told people this over and over again. I went to the bookstore 4,000 times in the last 20 years, and every time it felt like a part-time job to be a survivor. You know, that I had to give up everything or lose everything if I went too deep. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to live my life and sort of pull up something that says, today was a crappy day, or cry a little, or just kind of have something mirror back that I'm surviving in real time, and that I can honor the stage in that moment, in the moment, and then hopefully contain it a little bit and put it aside and get on with the day. So I know that's the long-term process for me. I know not everybody does that. I know everybody has their own way, but I really hope this is a resource. As I've heard from you, I realize some of you are like, you know, notes in the sides and it's just tore up and stuff. I love that. I love that because this is yours. I mean, I carry one. I mean, today I had to reference it to a friend who was going through a PTSD, you know, really complex moment. And I said, this is going to sound weird, but I actually wrote something for myself so that I could move on in that moment each day. So some people are using it like a meditation guide. Some people are diving right into it and trying to write some things. I don't, just use it in a way that allows you to own your recovery process. And if today you needed to hear that we're too busy for this, yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. We are so busy and we don't have time for this, but we do have to stop. And just in that moment, make that time and honor our experiences and the loss, the anger, and know that we're not alone. And in that moment, it's okay to say, I'm recovering right now in real time, and then put it aside so you can get on with the wonderful life you're trying to live, or get on with the horrible stress you're trying to handle. Whatever it is, contain it in a way that gives you power, and know that this is why I wrote it. And I'm eager to hear more of your stories, so you can email me or reach me on Twitter and Facebook, and of course through the website as well. So thank you for those who are reaching out. I'm very proud of you as my friends along the journey. Take care.